What's up guys, I made a video 2 days ago about Biotron and its relationship to coronavirus, or rather the speculation that they may do something with coronavirus. I also mentioned that if there's any news announcements from any company in regards to coronavirus, you should trade it while the story is hot. Now ZOONO Group, or ZNO, bumped up 25% today right at the close of trade. Now this is how significant coronavirus news can be. At 3:52 p.m, 8 minutes before market close, or rather market auction, it was 67.5 cents, and once the news release came out and tradable on the market at 4:10 right on auction, it closed at 81.5 cents. It gapped up huge. So this announcement is called the coronavirus update. And it's just that they're gonna basically start selling some microbe sanitizer. It was tested against the bovine coronavirus. I believe it includes MERS. But the interesting thing is that all these viruses have different cell structures, cell walls. So there's no guarantee that just because it works on this one coronavirus that it'll work on another coronavirus. But that's not the point. The point is not that it shouldn't work or may not work or that it could work. The point is, the story is that this company is selling their sanitizer to China and they're going to make supposedly a lot of money out of it. That's the story. Does it work on this particular strain of coronavirus? Doesn't matter. Don't ask the question. Doesn't matter, because everyone's going to be hyping the crap out of this stock because it involves the most headline news that we have at the moment, and that is coronavirus. Now, these guys aren't selling some sort of product like an antiviral that works against it. They're doing hand sanitizer. So we've got here orders in excess of $1 million received in the last 2 weeks of January, predominantly from China and Hong Kong. I'm sorry, $1 million? New Zealand? That's not significant. 50k in a single day, fair enough. If you're selling soap products or antibacterial soap, then look, that's probably pretty good in a day. But let's have a look at the financials. Okay, this is really weird. I just opened up the 3B. I'm trying to find out how many shares are on the market, but this entire document's empty. Okay, so I found another 3B. It's like a month or two older, so 61 million shares times 0.8. Times 0.82. So we have a 50 million market cap for a company that just sold some hand sanitizer for $1 million worth. They jumped from approximately 37 million, that's just a rough estimation, so 37 million to 50 million based on the back of this announcement. And that's just in the space of 10-15 minutes. So before looking at the financials, I just decided to have a look at this product that they're actually making and selling. 5 liters of this sanitizer for $250. Yeah, look, I'm going to take a hard pass on that one. And look, a quick Google suggests that using something with 60% alcohol in it for a hand rub will kill 99.999% of viruses. So really just a cheap $5 solution might be the alternative hand wash. Anyway, so if we go look at the financial document, so we have a look at the quarterly that came out 2 weeks ago. It's worth noting they have 600k in revenue, and after all the costs in production, staff costs, advertising, it ends up with a $500,000 loss. And it's worth noting that in the previous 6 months, this here is the quarter and this here is the last 6 months, that they had 1.8 million in revenue. So they've actually dropped in revenue down to 900k on average for the previous 2 quarters. So their losses are increasing while their revenues are decreasing. It's kind of an interesting and odd position to have. So if we scroll down, we can see how much cash they have in the bank, 2.7 million in cash. And if we keep scrolling down, and they plan on spending $1.1 million in the next quarter. So those are the outflows, and they plan on spending twice as much the next quarter than they have this quarter. It's an interesting position to be in, considering their 60 million market cap. I mean, they are producing a product, but these numbers don't really make sense to me that much. If we bring up the candlestick chart, I'd have to do more research into what caused this initial rise here. purely based on the announcement that came out today and really just a 5-second overview of the hand sanitizing product that they have. I don't have anywhere near a complete picture of this stock. However, I have some basic information about the financial position, about some of the products that they're producing, and it is worth noting that based on the headline news that we have at the moment, that we very well may encounter a pump to the upside. Now, this is a very, very unusual position to be in, because typically when we get news announcements, they're in the morning or occasionally during midday-ish. But to get an announcement right before 4 p.m. and have people actually enter the stock, it's quite unusual. It makes things a little more difficult because this is not a normal trading scenario. What you have now is people who FOMO'd into the stock, and rightfully so. We're going to have a situation where people are going to have the entire day. They're going to have a whole day to analyze and research this stock and decide whether it's something to trade, something they want to get into. Now, having a look at the financial position, you'd look at this stock and go, right, and it's actually not that great. But they did increase their revenue purely because of this coronavirus by $1 million. And if we factor in that their revenues were $600K for an entire quarter, getting an extra $1 million injection would add an extra 200% to their revenues. Now, does that still make this company worth $60 million? I don't think so. But the point is not that you should look at the market cap and say, well, I'm not going to trade this. That's a terrible position to make. The correct position to make is this a hype story? Is this something that can be hyped and will people buy into it? It's the coronavirus. It's the headline news. Of course, people are going to buy into it. The question now is, well, let me take a step back. We've determined that 60 million may be a little too high for this company, purely based on the financials. This doesn't mean you shouldn't trade it. What it does mean is that you should not trade it for very long. Because if this hits 120 million market cap, do you really want to hold this stock at, negative 500K loss per quarter? Is that really a position that you want to hold? Probably not. But you're willing to take the short-term trade despite the financial position that they're in, despite the market cap that they're in. If this was a 5 million market cap, you'd be going all in. You'd be selling your house and putting money into this, and then you could be riding it for a good 400% pump. The reality is we're already at 60 million market cap. It already feels very high, and this is just going to be a short-term story to pump this stock a little bit higher. Now the question is, and this is a really awkward question, is does it carry on tomorrow? Because we've got so much time to analyze the stock, people are going to have a lot of time to decide on what they're going to do. My opinion is it will move to the upside. It is the coronavirus. It is the headline thing of the week. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if this gapped up and pushed to, at the absolute minimum, this recent high of 89 cents. Now, it also wouldn't surprise me if it was a magnet to $1. Perhaps even if we draw this really, really crummy trend line, this may also be a target worth noting, which is still basically just 90 cents, maybe 92 cents. But just like the 10-cent magnet, the dollar is also a magnet. So I would range a target anywhere from 89 cents to $1. And really, if the hype drives this, it could go crazy to $1.50, $2, but I highly, highly, highly doubt it. That is very much a unicorn scenario.